Pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we have all our members here except City Council Member Craig Buss. Okay, next item of business, approval of agenda. Amy, do you have anything to add to the agenda?
No, I have no changes.
And I'll approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Tim, second by Howie to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Next item, approval of the minutes, June 14th, 2021.
I read them, I didn't see any discrepancies. so-
I just saw two little tiny, it's
Typo.
probably the editor in me.
Typo.
So, I don't know if I can just show them to you. There should be an ED on present and a D on update. Not a big deal. What? You want to be accurate, don't you, or? Okay.
Then I'll withdraw my motion to approve the minutes,
What's that?
because I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh. No, there's a word present that should have been presented, and a word update that should have been updated, so.
I missed those.
With those changes, I'll approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Tim, second by Dean to approve the June 14th minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Approval of financial reports, June 2021.
I don't think anything has changed since we looked at these last time. Last time we'd already talked, Napa had paid theirs off early, so we do have some RLF funds available. I believe I will be getting an RLF application very soon. I handed one out to a business in town who's looking to apply. So maybe for the next meeting, we'll be reviewing an application.
You said A-Town did too, didn't it?
No,
Oh,
it's just
no.
Napa.
Just that one.
Just Napa.
A-Town is 60,000.
They still owe us.
Be nice for
$50.
them to pay it off, that'd be good.
No, then we won't get the
No,
interest.
no.
That means they're doing good business.
Well, there is that.
They are doing
We would
good.
like the interest though.
Yes, we
Yeah.
want the-
I move for approval of financial report.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Larry, second by Matt to approve the financial report, June 2021. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Next item of business, new business development on the southwest side of Arlington. And we would like to welcome Gino O'Brien, owner of Data Metalcraft.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And, Phil, is his microphone on?
Yes, I believe it is.
It is, okay.
Green light.
Green light. Whoa.
Don't use that one.
Don't use that one.
That one has a problem.
I think we could probably all hear
I think we
it.
can hear you
Yeah,
without
yeah.
it.
Yep,
Okay, so I would like to read a prepared statement. Data Metalcraft, Inc. has purchase agreement with the current owner of the old Seneca plant site, the buildings and land west of the railway tracks. The company is currently performing due diligence on the property. DMI is examining reconstruction, repair, and maintenance costs to bring the building up to current state and local building codes. In addition, a Phase 1 and Phase 2 environmental report is being done to examine for pollution issues, if any, that may be associated with the facility's site. Depending on the outcome of the due diligence process, Data Metalcraft may choose to move ahead with the purchase agreement or not. Data Metalcraft is planning an expansion of their main operations, which is a precision sheet metal fabrication. Please see our website, www.datametal.com, for more details on the company and its operations. DMI plans on moving 45 workers from its current facility in Chaska, Minnesota, and quickly adding 30 new jobs by the end of 2022. As well, the company is starting a new venture called Deliver Safe, which will work in the transportation and delivery of goods market making products to improve a delivery driver's task of delivering goods safer and more efficient. DeliverSafe has 2 patent pending products that it hopes to bring to market as soon as this fall. And for more information, you can see www.tiltbreak.com. And I brought our logo with our hat. That's our new company. We're starting one of the products in the new company, tiltbreak.com.
Awesome.
And questions?
Is that the land out behind too, that the hemp facility was gonna, no, that's just the actual building
And its site.
and its site,
And its site.
yeah, okay,
There is additional land.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
That goes up to Highway 5, don't
It goes south, right, kind of like a triangle.
it? Yeah.
You can see it on this map here. It's this horn that comes down here.
So
So
I
it's
do,
part of the purple and then down farther.
I don't think it's any of the purple.
No, there's 2 shades of purple in the 2 different zoning districts, but
Oh, it is?
yeah, it's 2 separate zoning districts.
Oh, that's part of it, okay. Sheet metal, I do HVAC, it has nothing to do with,
sir.
no, nothing for that,
Nothing,
okay.
Yep.
I thought that'd be really nice,
No.
'cause then we could get it locally.
No.
Okay.
You guys work with tape measures and we work with calipers.
Okay,
So,
fine,
Yeah,
fine.
you're
metal.
1/8 inch and we're good, and in my business, it's 10,000s, and you
Okay.
might be okay.
My-
Do you guys wanna just introduce yourself and like Tim, Tim is a business owner in town?
From Why Not Plumbing and Heating, our family has owned the business for since Arlington was incorporated.
Long time.
Not quite that long, but my mother and I are still in it. My dad's retired and lived in Arlington all our life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Howard Brinkman retired.
Hi, Howard.
I'm building that, remodeling that house next to
Oh, yeah,
your place. I'm doing.
it's coming out really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's coming out good.
Any of my guys called?
Yeah,
Looking for
found a
a
place to live.
I'm waiting. Call up 100 of them, call.
I know one's already sold.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Matt?
Matt Sharpie, city council, and I grew up in Arlington. I'm on the fair board. I work outside town, but
Hey, Gino?
Kurt, you know?
Yep, we've met a few times.
Yep, Kurt was kind enough to come up to our facility and pitch our employees
Nice,
on this idea.
nice.
Me, you know?
Amy also as well came up and pitched our employees.
Okay.
Larry Sorensen, I'm just one of the old guys on this side of the table.
Yeah, don't look at me.
Larry's
I think he did.
our banking experience.
Well, used to be.
He helps with the revolving loans.
I spent 50 years at the local bank, and now when I go down there, I need to give 3 forms of ID.
Yeah. How long times have
And
changed?
only
Yeah.
3?
You should see me try to go get blood work at the hospital. What's your name again?
I
You
can't
don't know
remember.
me. I'm a retired physician, Dean.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say,
Dean
that suits
Burgers.
to Dean.
Practiced here for
Doctor?
50 years. And now all the new people up at the hospital, they don't know me by sight.
No, no, you've been gone too long.
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're missing Councilmember Craig Buss is also part of the EDA. I'm not sure where he's at. I text him, where are you? Oh, wait, someone answered.
So now when you're moving them people are willing to move out here, or are they gonna?
Howard, it's
He's
an interesting
coming.
question. I interviewed each person behind closed doors in my office. And, you get various answers. Certain ones I know for sure are, because we've shortened their drive, that's about a dozen people.
Okay.
The office people, I think everyone but one person is kind of on the fence, but all my key people, all my upper management, what I refer to as my leadership team is coming, and then the core of engineers. We're a really unique company in that, I have 65 employees, but 6 of us are degreed engineers.
Okay.
From, mechanical, electrical, systems engineering. So we have, for a small company, we have a tremendous amount of talent. And part of the products we're introducing is part of that, renaissance of bringing in younger engineers and kind of starting out some ideas.
Thinking outside the box.
Well, I didn't talk about Minnetonka Labs, but a friend of mine from high school and I started a company called Minnetonka Labs. and that's also got a website, MinnetonkaLabs.com. And Minnetonka Labs is really unique in that we're like a Shark Tank. If you've ever seen the show Shark Tank? So we started out in late September of last year, and we introduced this idea. And what we do is go out to inventors and inventor conferences and put on a presentation with respect to what we do. We're a very early stage investor. And so we go out and we tell them, look, there's guys who's got money and big Rolodexes and they can make things happen for you. But for us, if you want to try to start a company or be a part of a startup of a company and bring your product to life, I'm the manufacturing guy, we got a sales and marketing guy, we're the team. And these inventors have come to us and in droves. I mean, we've presented only in the Twin Cities area. We've seen over 60 inventors and have 3 contracts already. And we're pushing people away. It's remarkable. And just 2 weeks ago, the United States Patent Office out of Washington, D.C. notified me that they want us to speak at their national conference. Because they're fascinated by the concept of a manufacturer teaming up with a marketing guy and saying, hey, bring your mechanical products to us and we'll help bring them to life. And so we're gonna do a 50-minute speech for them in their conference on September. So, yeah, so, and Minnetonka Labs I have no idea what that could do potentially, but, you know, I wish I was 25 years younger just to play the idea out. So it's really fun.
You're closing up your business up there then, the building up there, or you keep it?
Yes, I own the property there. I actually own 2 buildings in the neighborhood, and one is fully leased, and what I hope to do, I believe, is lease the other one. I mean, the market is, we're just out of space. I mean, if you walked into my factory, you'd walk 1 foot on the floor and you'd go, oh, goodness. I mean, we're stepping on each other. And I've got some significant opportunities with some significant customers, both, you know, in the area and then regionally, that if, you know, it's a matter of performance right now. If I can scoop up the work if we can perform. And right now I'm struggling to perform because we just,
No room?
there's no room and no way to add additional capacity. We have, you know, you can always man your day shift. Manning your second shift is a crapshoot. And you can only man your second shift maybe 50%. I mean, maybe you're lucky. So we're at 50% on our second shift and we're fully loaded on our day shift. So every machine I own is working on that day shift. And we need, you know, I could go down the list of equipment I'm gonna be buying in the next year, but yeah, it's a lot.
Nice.
So you're just waiting for a pollution thing for the building?
Well, that was today. It was the
Okay.
first time, Howard, I took a big sigh, because it was, you know, there's some issues. And I'm kinda bummed because the current owner has been sitting on that building for 6 years, and there's chemical drums in there that have been sitting there since Seneca left. We found 6 of them today. And it was like, and frankly, you know, these environmental people know what they're looking for, and it was disappointing. I mean, that was, so she's like, gave me a name of somebody to call and said, you know, you could probably have those removed. You probably should have done it before we showed up. Whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, it's kinda just, and so we're gonna do a phase 2, which means they're gonna drill in the ground. So they gotta drill, they say there's 3 old tanks on the property, and so we're doing our due diligence, we're gonna do a good job of it, and know what we're coming. But there's, you know, there's helps out there too, so. There's helps.
Are there
Sounds
any
exciting to me.
questions?
Yeah.
Very.
Doc, it's crazy. It really is exciting, and I think it's a great opportunity. It's, you know, this building, when you walk into it, it's now or never. I've said that to Amy. You walk in and you just go, there's been 6 years of deferred maintenance, and it's starting to show.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
We went in there just to look and saw some of the heating systems had frozen, broken, some
Right.
of the hot water
Yeah,
piping,
yeah.
and he wasn't really following through on stuff. I'm not sure why he did that, but I suppose it wasn't his business and he
Yeah.
thought it would just be fine by.
Yeah, things don't take care of themselves.
No, they
If you
don't.
go into business, you know that. The wall along the railroad tracks to the south is a concern. That block wall has seen some serious degradation. You run your hand on it, the block crumbles.
Okay.
So there's some work that needs to be there, all the roofs need to be replaced, all of them. Maybe there's one section that doesn't, but it's, yeah, it's a total rehab, but nonetheless, there's value there if it's done and done right. And
Yeah.
that's what our aim is to completely come in and do it right.
Yeah.
So I joked with Amy, I said, I'll be damned if when I'm in the grave and my grandchildren are sitting at a boardroom meeting like this, and they say, you know that grandpa, he really cheaped out on that.
Yeah.
I said, that's not gonna happen. So, any other questions?
Well, what's the worst, scenario that you want come here? Like, did you buy the building already, or?
No, it's
Okay.
under purchase
It's
agreement.
under purchase
Of course,
agreement?
I'd have to walk from the earnest money.
Right.
But the earnest money is relatively small compared to the
Mhm.
size of the property. They didn't ask for much,
Yeah,
which was, a mistake on their part, but whatever.
Okay.
So I can easily walk away from that. I mean, we joke about things, like if you found an Indian arrowhead, I'm from Mound, right? So, just saying, something like that, or one of those tanks, if there was a gasoline tank buried. You guys know that building across from the car dealership, that was a 10-year deal working with that project, trying to get that site cleaned up.
Yeah.
So those kinds of things can be a real burr, and you just don't know, it wasn't my property, so I don't wanna inherit, in a waste site that I have to go and spend $2 million to try to clean up, we don't know. So we'll do the borings, and if they're clean, then we're lucky, if they're not, then they bore further out. And they're looking, she said she's gonna drill 2 holes in the concrete floor, one in the old compressor room, and another in one of the cooker rooms. I have no idea what they're looking at, but there's a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so.
I think there is state money to help.
Yes, sir.
Like that.
Yeah, there is, and we fit the bill.
Okay,
I mean, you go down the checklist and you'd swear they were standing on the corner of Baker and Third, looking at that building going, that's what this plan's for, because it really is, I mean, it's, yeah. And Seneca's a good operator, I've done a bunch of reading on EPA waste sites related to canning operations, and they're very low, so the probability that it's bad is very, very low. It would be like a gas tank or something stupid that was done back in the day that nobody thought would be a big deal, has become a big deal,
Yeah.
so that kind of thing.
haven't been around as long as Tim has, but I don't recall there being any underground fuel tank at that building. I know a few other buildings where.
Well, before us, there may well have been, but everything has been natural and LP mixture for burning for their combustion since our time, but it could have been fuel oil before, and there
Right,
might have
they
been
said they're going back to the 30s, so
Yeah.
this EPA, or this gal from the environmental. so,
30s.
Yeah.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, we gotta find the 90-year-old guy who can have a memory.
Wasn't that, I know I came here in 75, wasn't that building being built? Cause they shut that road off.
Part of it.
After
Wasn't
the
that
fire.
brand new? Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we had that big fire
Burned
that
down.
burned the whole.
Burned
Yeah,
down.
That's right.
What year was that? Burned down about
72, it was,
70?
it was before I.
Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir, I am, and there's, in our project plans on demising about 24,000 square feet. So there's enough, there's old buildings there that are built in the 30s that they just don't represent a lot of value. They're actually more valuable if we take them down. And then there's, those old, I don't know, how many of you have seen the boiler room? Anybody in here? You've seen- Those things are huge. Okay, how are you gonna sneak that out of there?
Cutting torch.
Well, cutting torch or take the building down. And the buildings are in rough shape back there. One of them is kind of falling off on its foundation. So there's significant demising to be done, but again, there is helps for that.
Yeah.
So we just have to play it right and present it and say, hey, look, this, it can be done, but let's share in this process.
Help us.
Yeah, help us do this.
I don't think there's anybody here who would be against the project.
No.
We're just happy to
Be
see that
selected.
someone's shown interest in it.
Yeah.
I'm very interested, it lays out really well for us. Can I show them the picture from the Arlington Water Tower? Okay, so the first day I'm touring the facility, and by the way, my son is a college baseball player.
Oh, okay.
Although he's not, he's good enough to play in the town ball team already, but he's working on his velocity. Not quite there yet. But he's working on it. He threw 91 the other day.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I'll walk around and show you, that's the first day I was there, and I walked out the back railroad tracks.
Like,
Oh, was that a
yeah,
jet?
I walked out the back railroad tracks.
I told you to turn around, look at the water tower.
That's
What's-
God giving him a
Isn't that
sign.
something?
That's
What's
fine.
creating that?
I have no idea.
It's a
Wow.
I
sign.
have no idea.
Well, that is,
Stop it, Amy.
that look,
Wow.
That's something?
it almost looked
No,
like
my
the
son's a
A's
college
from the
baseball,
North
and of
Side.
course the baseball's on
Well,
the
that's
water
God
tower.
shining his
Well,
smile down.
From your lips to God's ear. You see this picture, right? I showed it to you.
He's telling you to buy it no matter what.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty neat, yeah.
So who knows, you know?
UFO.
Yeah.
But I would love to be a part of your community, and my son wants to be the Saturday pitcher for Arlington Town Ball.
Yeah.
After he's done with his major league career.
That'd be
Are,
cool.
are you related to any of the local
I
O'Briens?
am not, I don't believe.
Oh, they-
Maybe somewhere back if we did one of those, 23andMe
Ancestry.
things, or, you know.
They were great baseball players, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Amy?
Anybody else? We should probably point out Mayor Nago back there also came
Yes, he did.
and joined us in the presentation that day.
Mhm. Very nice employees. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that presentation.
Yep, very good
Mhm.
group of people, and we
Yes.
run a good shop, we pay high wages,
He's got a
And,
very good group.
yeah.
We're
and we,
lucky to have them out here.
yeah, a lot of shops run sheet metal where they'll have a setup guy, and then there's 4 or 5 guys who just make the parts. All of our guys are qualified to set up the machine and make the parts, so we're somewhat unique that way. A lot of craftsmen.
Wow.
Yeah. Our starting wage is $18 an hour.
And would you take a retired HVAC?
Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe I'll just sell my business and come and work with you.
For what you make on service charges? Oh,
That hurts.
That hurt. It's just the truth.
It's almost as bad as an office call.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Almost. You know, when I started, your office calls were $3.
Ooh,
Yeah, or chicken.
yeah. Or a
I've
chicken.
got radishes, chickens,
Rashes.
wine.
That was your favorite.
That was a favorite one.
Yeah.
I still give that to you when I come to your place. Don't I?
Yeah, right.
If we had the AV, I would love to show them the TiltBreak commercial, but you guys can, I know.
Our projector doesn't work right
Well,
now.
the TV's coming, you told me.
It is.
So
It's
tilt
an
break,
ego.
that gives you something that prevents something from tilting.
I have a commercial I could show you. We put together a video. I'm not sure you guys can see it all.
Well, I don't wanna
It's only a
prolong.
minute long.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if
I think if you just set it up.
You
Yeah,
said
I
it's
think
for,
right there
it's
is
for,
pretty good,
for safety and delivery. Oh, I see.
Yeah, if you just set it there, they can all see it.
And
What's it called, tilt break?
So this
Yep.
would be a total relocation.
Operation equipment or building delivery can be dangerous. It takes a heavy toll over time on the operator's body, and in some cases can result in expensive accidents and even injuries. Introducing TiltBreak, a safer, more efficient, and less physically taxing hand truck engineered specifically for delivery professionals moving heavy loads down inclines. The innovative design allows the operator to control the speed of descent by simply adjusting the angle of the hand truck. The strongest two-wheel hand truck on the market is custom-made to your specifications. It features a patent-pending braking system. It is actuated when the brake wheel comes in contact with the ground or ramp. The braking pressure on the tires is directly correlated with the angle of the truck. The operator has complete control of the speed of the load by controlling the pressure of the braking wheel, even with just one finger. And when you don't need or want the brake, simply tap it out of your way and re-engage it with a flick of your foot. So stop braking your back and start braking your hand truck instead. TiltBreak, built in Chaska, Minnesota, will be available in the fall of 2020.
Listen to the tagline.
Place a pre-order and install before below. TiltBreak, what's your angle?
I'll take
TiltBreak, what's your
I'll
angle?
take 2 or 3 right now.
Yeah.
Kind of the general reaction we've had, we're introducing that
How about
product.
your appliances that you deliver?
Yes.
Crown,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Just appliances.
it's gonna change, right now, the most keg deliveries are done on the lower trucks where the man has to pick up the keg and put it on the ground.
Mhm.
We've invented a system by which the keg will never have to be picked up. You can literally put the cart underneath it, pump a foot pump, it lifts up 2 kegs, it'll fall back on the dolly and down the ramp you go. And my brother, who did that for 22 years, said keg loads weigh 320 pounds. And he said a lot of times he'd go into the bar and ask a patron to come out and help him down the ramp to hold the load, because you're fighting it all the way down.
That was asking for a loss.
So we got Locker Brothers, beer distributorship in Green Isle.
Mhm.
They sell a few cakes.
Oh,
Yeah, they
They
do.
do, and they use lowrider trucks, they're called. So, yeah, we're introducing it at the International Food Service Distributors Association. So companies like Cisco, US Foods, all of the big food delivery companies will be there. They represent 130,000 ramp delivery drivers. 130,000.
Mhm.
So, and that's just, we haven't even talked beverage, whether alcohol or non-alcohol.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a big market, and we're very excited about the product. We're gonna go to the trade show with a pre-production models, but they're very much ready, so, very close.
Wow, I'm impressed.
And I'd like to bring that all here.
Nice.
You guys have helped me do it,
Yeah.
so,
I think we can, I think we can.
I think we can too. The building just needs TLC.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out, so. Anything else?
Awesome.
Thank you, I probably taken more time than anything.
No,
No,
yeah.
Thank you very much.
We're excited.
No, thanks for coming.
Oh, hopefully to be part of the family.
Yes.
You
that would be
bet.
good.
Oh, who would mind to take me in here?
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. See you guys.
Hopefully
Yep.
see you again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's too
Yeah,
bad
that's-
that building couldn't have gotten turned over right away to somebody like that instead of the.
How much does that
Action.
stop him from
Mm.
coming, the building itself?
We'll see.
It seems like the
What do you mean, we'll see?
the earth
You don't
stuff
know?
is,
Huh?
I would say the earth stuff seems like the most important part. I can't,
But state of Minnesota's got a bunch of programs out there that help with gas tanks and all that stuff, so.
So then I guess, the news release he read is what he wants in the paper this week, so. Cause I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of rumors out there and everything, so we're gonna put that,
Wow. That's
but
like
again, if anybody it's not a done deal. We all know EDA, Hemp
Yeah.
Heavens, or Dirty
EDA.
Hops.
yeah.
Just like this. So-
Nothing's ever a done deal. We just
Right.
have to be patient. But this sounds real promising, I think,
It's
though.
definitely promising.
Aren't we the EDA?
Yeah, we are. But
I
you
thought,
know,
I thought we could approve this.
well, we can,
Oh, you're
say.
thinking of not
The
economic.
EPA, huh?
Yeah, environmental
Protection
protection.
Agency.
That's the
They're
Yeah,
gonna,
you can.
when are they gonna start drilling it?
I don't know, they were just there today to do phase 1, I don't know when she's coming back.
Oh, okay.
Well, I would say he has enough enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
They even, they sent me for the fair, email wanting a commercial booth, so
They're going to be,
they're gonna
for
be,
employees, they're trying
Yeah.
to get employees at this.
Why are they coming here?
They have to expand from what I
Well,
understood.
Well, I know that,
Availability, maybe?
but isn't, I mean, there's other towns with
The
buildings.
building,
The building,
the
that's
size of the building.
the main focus on that, okay.
Mhm.
I mean, you kinda wonder, sometimes you go, why are
We have the building,
The highway.
we have the building,
not a
the
bad
highway,
commute from the Chaska area.
Okay.
and taxes are low, yeah, don't they?
Mhm.
Yes,
So that's another bonus
It's a
there.
big
Mm-hmm.
driver. You just wonder.
Okay,
Nice.
unless there's anything else, we'll move on. Old business. A, we have the dog park. Amy, you wanna give update?
Kurt and I have worked on a grant and letters of support. Tim wrote one, thank you.
Mhm.
We'll be applying for that tomorrow. Our plan is to submit our application for the dog park. We do have numbers. Tim Hagenmiller was kind enough to measure, so we have all the numbers, so we were able to apply for a grant. It's a matching grant, so we're gonna ask for about half the cost of the dog park. And we'll have to continue doing some fundraising.
I see a typo in our,
Uh-oh.
was the most people, it says here was the must people. So the you,
Is it in your letter of support?
yeah, Marge had given me a copy, but it says I was at a public hearing and that was the must people. I meant to say most people.
Most people.
So just to make sure that they get that little U changed to an O if we could, maybe,
Maybe I could.
wait a
change it with my
second, did
pen.
Marge do this? This is a copy of
Let me
Marge's.
see.
Yeah, I
There
bet
was two
that's
of them, one from Marge and one from you.
Yeah, I think, well, maybe Marge misread mine.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be the most people. I have
The must people.
the
So
must
can you
people.
just,
Is that a type of person, a must person?
Could try to turn it into an O with a
Oh,
pen and.
Yeah, I
If
would.
that's
now
okay.
you
I
have a
would.
black pen?
Well, I'll fix it
Yeah.
with my pen.
Have we got a price on the dog kennel, I mean, the dog?
The total, it was 13,000, I didn't bring the grant in here with me, 13,000 something.
That's what we need to build it.
I know that's just approximately.
And are we getting
so-
bids on it right away or not?
Well, that was from Hagemiller's.
We're using the Hagemeller numbers to apply for the grant, and then numbers from Kirby for the class 5 for the parking lot, and landscaping timbers for the parking lot to keep people.
Okay.
So it could come down? I mean, we're not
Well,
sure
the price was only valid for 10 days due to the whole COVID pricing, so if COVID costs come down, we won't know if we receive the grant till the end of August, so we couldn't begin construction till September, so the numbers will be different on the fencing by then, but we needed some kind of number to apply for the grant. So that's where we sit.
Any questions on the dog park? Okay, we'll move on. B, Hemp Heaven.
Haven't heard anything, it's the same, I feel like a broken record every month. I have not heard back from them.
So disappointing. I mean, they can't even email back
I mean,
and be
yeah,
respectful.
Gina and I text and call and talk constantly, and they,
Hmm.
I haven't heard back.
So we will own that property again,
Right,
which would end up making, would it make more of a future opportunity for the O'Brien group too, maybe?
way to look at it,
Possibly.
yes.
Mhm. So it could turn out to be a blessing,
Mhm.
maybe.
I keep in touch with Ross on that, because come October, we'll have to have Ross go after them to get it back.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna get the building across the street from where you're remodeling, the one directly south or the one
All
east?
of it.
All of it.
All of
it.
All of it.
And then
That whole
the
big
west
warehouse.
of the
Everything west of
tracks.
the rail-
Yeah.
everything west of the railroad.
Everything west of the railroad tracks is Northland,
Right.
or
Right.
everything east of the railroad
There's,
tracks.
no,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a big metal
West
building
is,
and all
yeah.
that corner part where the office is and stuff.
It's 175,000 square feet.
There's been a lot of traffic down there lately. Different people looking at it.
Mhm.
Any other questions on Hemp Heaven?
Could we change it to Hemp Hell?
Next item of business, EDA Director, Amy Newsome, update on businesses and housing.
Dave is moving forward with his villas. They should be digging those basements by July 26th, so you'll see a lot more happening.
They got
It-
stakes out
Wait
there.
a second, is there truly, there's no basements, it's patio homes, isn't it?
I
He's gonna
thought
put
they
slabs
didn't
on it?
dig basements.
Oh, I thought it was patio homes.
You
Not a
know,
big deal, but,
I drove out there and to the west of the, whatever street that is, that you got a no exit, they got it all staked out and marked. Is that where they're gonna start?
They're gonna do 4 of them.
Okay, but I looked at that diagram they have on the board and it looks like the groups are on the other side of the road.
What diagram are you looking at?
You've got a big sign out there with, here's,
Oh, that's
That's an
wrong,
old-
that's
that's an old-
inaccurate,
that's the
yeah.
old-
did-
that's what
ignore
I
that
thought. I
sign.
thought, well, this isn't right.
That's when there
No.
were 16 units going in
Yeah,
the circle, yeah.
That
Yeah.
sign is all wrong, I looked at it too.
And I saw no evidence of, our other project started.
What other project?
Oh, the Tony's, but
Well,
that's,
Tony, we haven't been able to close on the property yet,
Oh.
we can't start, there was, some errors in the last survey that
Yeah.
was done. The
Oh,
survey,
I remember.
3 of the corners are off, one is off by 7 foot 1 inches, so Tony and Ross had spoken about that, and Tony wanted that one fixed, some of them were off by like, 2/10 of a foot, and Tony was okay leaving that, but 7 foot 1 inch was quite a bit, and we wanted to correct that, so Attorney Arneson was gonna do a quick claim with the people that live just to the north to fix that, because you can see on the survey that the line on the north side is crooked, you can see it crooked. So, we're getting that taken care of, because otherwise the title is messed up. So, we have to have that survey fixed, and I think we're closing soon. Attorney Arneson had talked last week, but I know he wasn't feeling well last week, so maybe this week we'll have a chance to get that set up.
Well, let's hope 20 years from now they don't look back and say, those guys on the EDA,
What did
they
we all
didn't
do?
know anything.
Thinking it's the guy that surveyed it the last time had some issues between the years, but
Mhm. So, all we can do, we had to wait for that to get taken care of.
then Tony can start.
Then Tony can start. As soon as we close, which will be soon, then Tony can start. He's ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
It is all staked out now, if you go take a look out there. And the pink stakes are up, so,
I drive out there every day.
do you?
pink stakes.
I
And-
watch Tom Halsted go and see Rich Miller behind him. You guys do.
They're all driving out to look at it.
Any other comments on, or questions for Amy? Businesses and housing?
Stu's patio is in,
Nice,
looks nice.
yep, does.
Got the building done.
Mm-hmm.
Still not much interest in the bakery or the liquor store?
I've had 0 interest lately in the bakery and the liquor store, sadly. I have had interest in our other piece of land. The 10 acres we own, the Swenson property.
Out on the corner.
Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of interest in that. I have one very interested right now. They're working on their business plan. I asked them to submit a business plan to me. It'll make things move smoother if we're gonna sell it to them. If I have that business plan in hand.
Does anybody know who got the bid on the K. Schumacher's twin home?
Don't know, I haven't heard it sold.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think they had 8 bids.
It's a nice twin home.
Yeah, it is. I bid 30,000 more than they wanted for it,
Oh
and
my gosh.
apparently we weren't even in the market.
Really?
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I just wondered who bought it.
Haven't heard.
I did not buy it, however.
I did not buy it.
Hate to break it to you, but I got bigger irons than that going on.
Okay, we'll move forward. Planning and zoning update. Philip Mangus III, Planning and Zoning Administrator.
The only update I have for you guys that you'd probably be interested in is I got my, I was able to get approval to streamline the variance process. Curtis putting something in the paper for you all to see. It's pretty much what it does is, from what I've found based on Minnesota statutes, for like certain accessory structures, minor ones, a resident can more or less pretty much avoid the public hearing thing as long as they get a letter of approval from their neighbor that's affected by it. However, that's if it's within the side or rear depending on the structure. When it comes to dimensional stuff, there's a few dimensional things, they don't really need a variance for that. Well, they don't need a letter from their neighbor for that as long as it meets all the other side setbacks. And it's just pretty much just trying to streamline the variance process. I had a lot of people complain to me that they don't care about getting more or less a variance, they just don't want to wait 2 to 3 months for the process, and I think this will also help encourage people to build more and also help people in town when they're building things and stuff like that.
How about the fences that were brought to council?
Oh, yes, there, I'm also working on, it's brought to my attention, by a few residents that there was a front fence built over at 310, I think it's East Alden. They're claiming that it's not a front fence, and based off pretty much certain things, I am now working on trying to change more or less the city code to make us allow planning and zoning do variances for them, because technically under our code, zoning does not, from what the city attorney told me, Artisan informed me that zoning has no authority over that. However, based on my predecessors before me and things like that, we have done variances for that. So I'm just trying to clean that up, because there's a lot of gray, and it is actually opening up a can of worms in town, so I'm trying to clean that up.
So if it's a decorative thing,
Let's put it this way, the planning and zoning committee has determined that the fence, that the landscape decorum, as they call it, is a fence. However, the person in question has sent me information disagreeing with that, so I am now in the process of trying to figure out how to approach it. So, but I can tell you, like I said, there's a lot of gray, so I'm cleaning this up. We need a clear definition on fences, because that's one of the gripes that they have. And, I mean, it's just, there's a lot of things on it. I'm not gonna bore you with the details, because it's just zoning and red tape BS. But it's more or less, I'm trying to clean up that red tape. But minus those two things, everything's been going well. Permits, we've hit a little bit of a slow patch when it comes to permits right now. But other than that, things have been pretty much good. There's a few, like I said, minus the fences and that variance process, that's really the only real hiccup right now.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Phil? Okay, we'll move on. Thank you, Phil. We'll move on to director and board comments. Anybody have any comments of anything that wasn't on the agenda?
Yeah, I'd be interested, do we have any hard copy of what Mr. O'Brien presented? Like those,
well, he said the
Websites?
websites, yeah. Do we
Copy.
It'll be in the newspaper.
Okay.
You can't beat Kurt with the juicy stuff.
It'll be in the newspaper, including the website, so you can look at that.
Actually, I kinda asked him if he would come up with something, cause people are kinda asking questions, and
People are talking in town.
I kinda
so
just left
it's
it up
on.
to him,
well, they wanna know what kind of a plant it's gonna be.
yeah.
Tell him it's hemp. It's gonna stink and
Then
it's
we'll
gonna
have
be a
the
ton of
room
noise.
full next time.
Just have them call me on that.
The only thing, I know people ask all these questions, but it's just, I got hesitation on a lot of this stuff, because like you said, all of a sudden this stuff comes up,
And then it's
and you get excited, and all of a sudden,
it's gone.
it's gone.
Yeah.
I'm not getting my hopes up until the building gets
Yeah.
sold.
I'd just be
Country
interested in
chickens.
seeing what they're
Yeah, I'm
making.
not, yeah.
I'm not either.
Well, has anybody looked at that website?
I have, obviously.
www.datametal.com?
Mhm.
You have not looked at it? or-
I've looked at the website and I've been to his facility,
Oh,
so I've toured the facility. It's very nice, very clean.
Is there anything that the city can do to help with some of this stuff to get him here?
Yes, I think I'm not gonna talk about that yet until
Okay,
he
well, I'm just-
gets his stuff to me. Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if we got a factory like that coming, we should bend over backwards and kiss his head.
We've got it in the works.
Yep.
Okay.
How many people are they saying they're bringing to town?
He said something like
100?
50.
30,
Well,
didn't he
they're
say 16 of his
Well,
people
they're bringing-
would move, but I mean, would work here, but I'm guessing all the upper level people stay where they're at.
But they wanna
Commute.
add 30 new jobs.
30
I
new
thought, so
jobs.
Two besides
Did
this.
they say 45 coming, then
Yeah.
30?
Something like that, yeah.
So,
Correct.
This is
I thought it
specialized
was
trade,
16.
so
Mhm.
It's welding, machine operating. Mhm.
starting at $18 an hour.
There's a business up by where we have our lake place called Clow Stamping. And they do stamped metal pieces.
Mhm.
Starting salary is $17 an hour, no experience necessary.
Yeah.
They'll teach you on the job.
Mhm.
My grandson just got a job with a railway place in Galen, you start out at 16. In 6 months you get a raise, so, you know, you're looking at 17, 18 bucks an hour there, so. Yeah, it's gonna be in the ballpark.
Inflation's taken its zinger on a lot of it, because, I mean, we talk about it,
Yeah.
you know, starting out, when I started turning wrenches, 16 bucks an hour, that was pretty decent. Well, now, you can't get anybody with a degree or 10 years' experience for under 40. So, I mean, professional labor, I mean, even Northland Grind is paying their employees starting at 22 an hour for a general laborer.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Any other comments on anything?
You mentioned, you said railroad, is that still in the works, or what's that going on with that one?
Still waiting on federal funding.
Okay.
If I hear anything, I'll let people know. I've not heard anything yet.
Cause it'll be about a year again before you hear anything on the funding.
Yeah, we
part.
we touched base with them last week, actually. Still waiting on that federal
Yeah.
money, so.
Those would be two really nice additions.
We probably won't hear from them again until they want an extension.
It seems to be our history, yeah.
Well, maybe we have to say no extensions anymore. If you're gonna do it, do it. Forget it.
Give them a time frame. You got
Yep.
6 months to a year to do it, if you don't, you're out.
Anything else, anybody?
No, we got some good publicity in the sports page, front page of the sports section, the day after the big Arlington night at the ballpark.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That Kim,
Glidden.
that's Craig's brother, right?
Yes.
Yep.
They used to play catch out in front of our place when they were like 10 and 12 years old. Watch 'em. Inspired my boys to play baseball.
The most amusing part of that article was talking about Jim Stoles going around the neighboring towns and they're gonna be playing the
Yeah.
baseball games and taking bets.
Yeah.
When he was gonna be pitching.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get guys to bet against him.
He was a
Suppose
tremendous,
The next day he'd go collect.
he was a tremendous baseball player, but off the field.
Yeah. He wasn't a model citizen.
No.
Well,
Had to chase him a lot.
Okay, is there a
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Who wants it?
Aye.
Give it to Larry.
The doc.
Okay, motion by Tim, second by Larry to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Well, thanks, everybody, for coming.